Did you ever ask yourself, why is it that sometimes you do istighfar, but then you notice that the promises that Allah gave you in the Quran are not becoming a reality? For example, Allah told you that if you do istighfar, He's going to increase you in wealth, He's going to increase you in children, and He's going to increase you in blessings. So I get a lot of questions, people asking me, they're like, I'm sitting down and I'm doing istighfar, I'm saying astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, but then I'm not seeing the results happening in my life. So are we saying that the promise of Allah is not real? Here's the thing, okay? Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Nisa, I believe, He says that Allah does not forgive when you're doing shirk with Him. The moment that you're doing shirk with Him, Allah is not going to forgive you unless you stop the shirk. That's when you become forgiven. What I mean by that is that if you're doing istighfar, but then you're adding too much importance on the world outside, you're adding too much importance on the dunya, then you're basically doing shirk with Allah. Here's the thing, when you're doing istighfar, don't be doing istighfar because you're like, I want to have more money, I'm lacking money, so I'm doing istighfar so that I receive more money. If you're doing that, then you're attaching yourself with the money. You're attaching yourself with the dunya. But if you do istighfar and you don't even care, you're like, I don't even care if I get the money, if I don't get the money. All I want is Allah's presence here. I want to feel Allah's presence here away from the negative emotions. And then you keep cleaning the negative emotions in your heart. And then you don't attach your heart to the dunya things. You don't attach yourself to the things outside in the dunya, and you only attach yourself to Allah. That's when you'll notice that the effects of istighfar are going to become a reality. And I'm telling you, I've seen it in my own life, and this is coming from the Quran. The moments that you keep doing shirk with Allah, and by the way, you might think we're not doing shirk with Allah because we claim to be Muslim, but we're still doing shirk with Allah. The moment that you're thinking that you're lacking something, and you're looking at that thing as something so great, you put it on a pedestal, that's the moment when you're doing shirk. So what you're supposed to be doing, remove it off the pedestal and understand that everything in the dunya will perish. Everything in the dunya is not important. The only thing that's important is Allah. And then when you walk with that mindset, the mindset of truly la ilaha illallah, that's when you'll see the fruits of istighfar. So don't just be doing istighfar and you're hoping for something. Do not be doing that, bro. Because then you're still attaching yourself to the dunya. Do istighfar with the hope of being connected to Allah and hoping that Allah will clean you from the negative emotions. And then when you do that, trust me when I say, you'll see the benefits of istighfar in your life almost instantaneously.